Like I said, tobacco doesn't happen in isolation. Tobacco reduction and quitting cannot happen in isolation. So we need to have people-centered solutions which are created with the help of people, with people alongside with us.
Hello, welcome to the Life Research Institute, an institute that promotes healthy living and healthy aging across the lifespan. I am very honored today to be joined by my colleague, Dr. Smita Pakhale, who is a distinguished researcher at the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute. She is also a respirologist and an epidemiologist, and she's a full professor at the Faculty of Medicine at the University of Ottawa. Dr. Pakhale does a lot of work within the community, working with vulnerable communities, particularly trying to support individuals that are suffering from mental illness and substance use. And one common substance that is abused by vulnerable populations is tobacco. It's as though with everything that is happening and the focus on cannabis, tobacco has received less attention lately, but we see that it is still present in our society. It is still problematic, particularly amongst vulnerable populations. Why is that so?
When we look at the population who are urban poor, who are marginalized, who are racialized, who are indigenous, who have mental health challenges, tobacco use prevalence is 50%, 60%, some of them 100%. So when people saw these statistics, when they learned these results, people were so astonished, so surprised, and they wanted to take tobacco head on. And that's why our PROMPT project was born, because people wanted to take head on. They couldn't believe that there is so much difference in tobacco prevalence of 9% versus 96% in the population, just 2 blocks from the Parliament Hill.
When we've become dependent on substance, particularly tobacco, it's very hard to get over that dependence. But it's particularly hard for vulnerable populations because they don't have access to the same programs and interventions that other people have. Why are they not getting that same support that other people in the society have?
A lot of people cannot afford that. The nicotine patch and gum, they are very expensive. A lot of places cannot even provide that. In my own hospital, it becomes very difficult. All the programs and means to get there are not available. They are not freely available. They are not covered by our OHIP. They are not cheap. You have to spend it from your pocket unless you are attached to some program that is there available to you in your area. So it becomes multifaceted hurdles.
What do we need to do and to be able to overcome all these challenges that you mentioned? Because yes, we are developing programs, we're developing interventions, but they're not getting to those who need it the most.
A lot of our programs and policies, unfortunately, are top-down. So we need to have people-centered solutions which are created with the help of people, with people alongside with us, which are available easily for them, that they don't have to go out of their way or spend a lot of money to get to that program. Because unless the solution or any program or policy is relevant to what my reality is, I will not avail that program, because that's not relevant to me.
For some people, tobacco use begins because they want to please peers and to be able to hang out with them, whereas for others, it's sort of used more as self-medication. Do you think that those factors could also explain why for some people it's easier to overcome tobacco dependence compared to others?
So when somebody start using it for whatever reason, that addiction sets in very quickly. And once that addiction set in, it is very difficult to get off that unless you have some kind of a help, some kind of a support. Now, you might have heard the word cold turkey. Like some people, oh, my dad quit cold turkey. But it's a very few percentage of people, maybe 2 to 4% of people can actually achieve that in a true sense. So majority of the people need a lot of help because tobacco is very, very addicting. It's a journey of quitting. It's a process of quitting. It's not an event. Your body goes through so much rigmarole of withdrawal symptoms. You have to reorient your goals and find a purpose and do differently things and have support through that process. But some medication, so pharmacological medication, some social support, all this combination then will help you get there. And even then, relapse is very common.
And sometimes we're told, or people are told, told, well, this person was able to quit, why aren't you able to quit? That also makes it kind of challenging because you're not going through the same things maybe that the other person went through, right?
Yeah, definitely. We have some differences physiologically, our psychosocially, structurally around us. But that cold turkey is a myth. Like very small proportion of people can actually quit quite easily. Majority of the people go through the rigmarole, have to struggle through the process, and may also still relapse. But the social and structural differences determine a lot of our health. What kind of house you live in, what kind of support system you have, what kind of psychological support you have access to the counseling or not, you have access to healthy food or not, because all these are interrelated. Like I said, tobacco doesn't happen in isolation, tobacco reduction and quitting cannot happen in isolation. You need to have all this, right? So with all those factors, then decide how is your journey going to be.
Thank you so much for taking the time to answer our questions. I mean, we've learned so much about tobacco use, the challenges associated with it. Thank you so much for taking the time to view our capsule. If you found this capsule helpful, if you liked it, please don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe so that you can be notified every time that we post a new capsule.